there's not that much animation that has the emotional expression, I think, that the Pixar films managed to capture. And they're really amazing. And it was just one of those things that was sort of always on my list of like, that would be cool. And then it came along, I was like, yes, please. My character's name is Ramsey, and she is a tough, feisty sort of cowgirl T-Rex very who's very, I guess, not aggressive, but very sort of confident and bold and loud and kind of one of the boys. And she can very much hold her own with her dad and her brother. Arlo starts out so small and so kind of scared of everything and kind of doesn't really have any confidence, I don't think, in himself, even though his father seems to have a sort of, forward-thinking confidence of like, it will work for you, But he basically has to kind of man up. And he finds himself in all these situations where there's nobody else to come and help him. And he becomes very emotionally connected to his sidekick, Spot. And it brings out a sort of strength and a courage in him that he probably didn't know was there. I feel like one of the things with the Pixar movies is that they have all of the sort of intensity of a live action film, and you become really engaged and engrossed with the characters and the stories. So in some ways it actually is more like watching, a film with, actors and people. Pete's wonderful and talented and kind and sweet, and I had this amazing day when I went up to the Pixar studios and met everyone and saw everything, and they were explaining what the story was going to be about, and it's just such a lovely environment and so many incredibly talented, really smart, creative people, and just I was so impressed, so impressed. Plus, if you've been to Pixar Studios, it's like, that must be the coolest place to work. It looks almost completely real. And all the sort of like really tiny detail of like the sort of like blades of grass and the minutiae of like clouds and storms and rivers and all this stuff that is kind of amazing that you can actually do that without shooting, an actual location. And, I'm not that familiar with the process of animation, so kind of watching that from seeing the sort of sketches and the drawings and little pieces of bits and pieces and then seeing it all together, I'm so impressed. I think this film's a really beautiful and simple but very poignant story about becoming an adult, becoming, the person that you're sort of the best version of yourself, and sort of fulfilling your destiny in that sort of regard. And it's fun and funny and sweet along the way, and it's just a really good film.